everyone. Thank you for stopping by. My name's Philet Mignon and this is Medium Rare Poetry. Today I have a true story. It came to pass that near to where I lived, each Wednesday night at a cafe, there was an open mic poetry night. And my wife and some friends and I went along and witnessed this event, and it was really excellent. So my wife encouraged me to write a poem and have a go at performing it in front of an audience. Never done that before. Quite a terrifying prospect. Anyway, it was in winter and it was a freezing night when we went to the cafe and the place was packed, and, well, I'll let the poem tell the story. This is Suck It Up.
Suck It Up by Phil A. Mignon. A bitter autumn wind swirled its way across the range, and the darkness was complete without the moon. An island of candescent light seemed altogether strange amid that gusty landscape swathed in darkest gloom. A night of spoken word was soon convening in that place. An aromatic cafe was its host, and crowds of budding poets were expectant in that space, perchance to share their deepest, darkest ghosts. All through a varied lifetime I had dabbled with my pen to tell a story through a line or two of verse. Although I'd heard performers on the wireless now and then, I'd never seen them live. Oh, what a curse. The show tonight had offered, so to supplement the prose, for blokes like me to bravely take the mic. The eager volunteers were lining up there, toe to toe. I registered my name, lest I should pike. On Monday I had formed its heart, a classic rhyming tale. On Tuesday I refined most every line. Wednesday I would stun the world, for this poem wouldn't fail. The gripping verse about a choco vine. And what the hell would Thursday bring? With audience acclaim, a rising star would sure as eggs be hurled. The offers would come flooding in, I'd finally make a name. By Friday I'd be travelling the world. The agenda, now completed, put me forth upon the queue. I was slipping into poem reading mood. He mispronounced my name, but then, for me, that's nothing new. I use an alias when ordering Chinese food. With that assured, my darling and a dear supporting friend perused the cafe menu, and behold, a raspberry chocolate mousse cake was indeed the living end, and coffee warmed our hearts against the cold. The show commenced, and first up was a Japanese haiku, constrained within a miserly 3 lines, and 17 bloody syllables is all you are allowed to make the grade with this archetypal rhyme. I've more than 17 within the titles of my works. No wonder they are such a sombre mob. Concise and deep and cutting, these would test a writer's worth, enough to make a budding poet sob. A tall and quite mysterious man appeared upon the stage. He read his work aloud from a well-bound book. I wasn't gripped intently by the words he had to say. Intrigued I was by how this being looked. His long dark hair spilled down his face to match his mariner's coat, with eyes that shone like Ahab, black as dirt. My God, I haven't dressed the part. I'm going to look a goat in my warm but slightly musty flannelette shirt. Suck it up, Phil. And then a lady spoke to us, and wow, did she abuse. I didn't know that girls knew how to swear. She uttered words I only thought that Catholic priests can use. In a public place as well, I do declare. My turn was coming soon, I thought. The nerves were getting mean. My pulse was gaining pace beyond the norm. The raspberry chocolate mousse cake had reacted with caffeine. Together they were brewing up a storm. And as the night meandered on, a thought grew in my mind. The structure of these songs was quite opposed. Their metre was abandoned, and they didn't need to rhyme. At school they said this kind of stuff was prose. Could it be I was a prisoner to the rhyming rules of old, with alphabet engraved upon my brain? Was I a bore down to the core, an open door on a wooden floor, all stained with gore? The frost was hoar with my gaping jaw against the law. In the monster's maw on my bones will gnaw when I'm feeling poor, and the crowd will roar as the eagle soars and the ice will fall. I think I am at war. Suck it up, Phil. The pain that these folks had endured flowed all around the room, their anguished lives displayed for all to see. I've known pain as well, although quite slight compared to these. Their hearts seemed rent so bad enough to bleed. I've had caustic in my eye, and I've broken thrice my nose. With leech bites I engorge like a pregnant cow. I've had blisters, I've had sisters, I've dropped boulders on my toes. I've been constipated. I'm not constipated now. The raspberry chocolate mousse cake had encountered gastric hell, and noises down below began to rumble. Maintain your damn composure. When the starter rings his bell, focus now, so all your words won't mumble. And then a published poet had us wrapped up in his style, with images as warm as buttered toast, eclipsing all that came before, weaving thoughts that would beguile, a love note from a street lamp to its post. The half-time whistle blew so as to boost the coffee sales. It seemed I'd been demoted on the roll. It didn't really matter, as the second half was hailed, for ballads from Australia was the goal. We met a man called Harry. What a wonderful surprise! A member of the hosting pack of bards. He'd pen a work for radio every weekend at sunrise. Prolific, would decry his brilliant art. And next up was Jacinta, who forgot to bring her book. She wrote her piece while driving to this place. Now that portrays some talent, for her piece had all the look of quality that belied the hidden haste. Then Odie was a virgin, as he'd never read aloud. The audience was spellbound by his pain. He leashed his demons, warts and all, to the sympathetic crowd. He earned 3 hugs, his emotions fairly drained. I noticed that these many works had oft-repeated lines, just like a politician holding court. Their use was made to emphasize the power of the rhymes, intensify the pith behind the thought. My raspberry chocolate mousse cake was embracing this new way as it squirmed its way throughout my lower tract. I was burping with bravado, and I panicked that it may seek other vents to free the pressures packed. Suck it up, Phil! Harry had his turn and had us crying with his mirth. He'd reached a bold new height with comic verbiage. He was completely natural, with an intellectual worth, and all I had was bloody choco herbage. A lamington is garnished with dried coconut, you know, to contrast with the chocolate, so it seems. It doesn't taste of anything, it's really just a show, and coconut was how I felt in reams. And then the night was over. My name was overlooked. My crumpled choco verse lay on the floor. With far too many poets, the night was overbooked. With that, I slouched my way towards the door. The raspberry chocolate mousse cake lost its potency as well. A lesson had been learned that frigid night. To self-indulge with ego simply plumbs an endless well. It's best to fill the heart with love and light. I sucked it up, but one day, one day, one day, I will let it all out.
I made a dreadful mistake in my introduction in saying that these poetry nights were held weekly, whereas they were actually held monthly. So I had another 30 days or so to write the poem that I just performed for you. When the next month came around, I spoke to the man who convened the night, and he was mortified that he'd missed my name on the list. So he allowed me to perform the poem that I have just read for you, and also my original Choco poem. And that poem will appear in the next episode. So in the meantime, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe and share, and have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.